kids are witches, and they're from Witch Mountain.
Two children with unearthly powers pursued by a grasping millionaire.
You have power. I've seen it. You could foresee a revolution, a natural disaster.
Their only hope, escape to Witch Mountain.
Welcome to the Disney Scrapbook, where together we take a journey to explore Disney history from 50 years ago. My name is Nolan. Today I thought we'd take a third look at Disney's fantasy science fiction film, Escape to Witch Mountain, released March 21st, 1975. If you have not yet had an opportunity to watch parts 1 or 2 of the Disney Scrapbook series on this film yet, which investigates the plot and performance, shooting, stunts, and special effects, I suggest you start there. Please follow the links below. In part 3, we take a detailed look at the composer and film score, merchandise, and critical reception. Johnny Mandel, the Oscar and Grammy-winning composer, arranger, and musician of popular songs, film music, and jazz, was engaged to write the score for Escape to Witch Mountain. A musical child who knew at the age of 12 that he wanted to be an arranger, and who, upon leaving Juilliard School of Music, played trumpet and trombone with the likes of Jimmy Dorsey and Count Basie. Mandel would go on to win an Oscar for composing the music to the Best Original Song, The Shadow of Your Smile, and for Best Original Score, both for the film The Sandpiper. However, he would be most remembered for his most widely recognized composition, Suicide is Painless, the droll theme from the 1970 Green War satire MASH. The movie earned 5 Oscar nominations and paved the way for a hugely popular television series that ran from 1972 to 1983. Although he had been scoring films since the 1950s and would go on to score 30 films for Hollywood, he had never scored a fantasy or science fiction film, and certainly never a Disney production. Mandel scored the film for an orchestra of some 77 players, including an unusual on-screen musical device where Tony plays a harmonica to invoke telekinesis that is actually dubbed by famed musician Tommy Morgan, playing virtuoso harmonica solos. Morgan would eventually play for over 600 films and TV scores, including many for Disney. Paul Beaver, the pioneer of popular electronic music, plays the synthesizer effects that accompany Tia communicating with animals and performing her telekinesis. This would be his final recording, as before the film's release, he would suddenly pass away in January 1975. In 2015, Intrider was able to release the full score that had been recorded by the original orchestra in December 1974 on CD for the first time. Disney had used 4 scoring sessions to capture on 35mm 3-channel magnetic film the orchestra, percussion, synthesizers, and gimmick effects like the harmonica. This was all intended for synchronization during the music mixing stage of production. Mandel's score is engaging. He creates cool, clever score anchors with a dynamic main chase theme, then fronted with music both dramatic and sensitive. He composed an exciting piece of chase music centered around an ascending-descending title melody on high strings and woodwinds. The theme is supported by churning rhythms from low strings and pounding brass accents, guitar and tambourine beats. Although I think this is a clever film score, I feel that this piece is dated by the overuse of an electronic synthesizer. To promote the film, Disneyland Records released a Storyteller LP, Walt Disney Productions Escape to Witch Mountain, ST3809. The record label showed track listings, but the record contents play as one continuous track on each side. This 51-minute LP does not contain the full orchestral score or film soundtrack, but rather it's Disney's traditional formula for a storyteller LP of dialogue narrated by Eddie Albert, some voiceover work by Ike Eisenman and Kim Richards, sound effects and harmonica motifs from the film, and an arrangement of part of the film score played on an organ by American keyboardist and composer Clare Fischer. Due to the science fiction theme of the story, the organ playing works relatively well. However, it must have been frustrating for Johnny Mandel, the arranger, to not have his original scoring intentions used. This long-playing record was accompanied by a vibrantly colored gatefold, fully illustrated 11-page booklet, of which the artwork summarizing the story was created by the Impressionist painter Ron McKee, who at the time was providing illustrative work for Fender Guitars, Universal Studios, and various magazines. Upon Disney working with Photomat, March 4th, 1980 saw an Escape to Witch Mountain VHS tape released as one of the first 13 Disney films made available to rent in 4 cities across the US at Photomat booths, costing $12 for a 5-day rental, about $50 in today's money. In October of that year, the VHS will be made available for sale for $24.95, equivalent to a whopping $100 today, as well as for rental at various locations throughout the US. Then, in 1981, Disney released a CED video disc, and subsequently a Laserdisc on August 11th, 1993. King Feature Syndicate Sunday Comics ran a spine-tingling action drama comic strip. For 13 consecutive Sundays in 40 major metropolitan newspapers. Also in June 1975, to promote the film for a cost of 25 cents. A photo cover Golden Geek comic book, Walt Disney Showcase number 29, Escape to Witch Mountain, was published by Western Publishing. It contained a condensed version of the story. A British version of the comic, Walt Disney's Donald and Mickey comic, Escape to Witch Mountain, was then released on August 9th, 1975, for 4 pence. A limited amount of merchandise was released to promote the film, which included flying discs and the re-release of Alexander Key's novel. Winnebago joined the bandwagon with an $800,000 marketing campaign that included dealers giving away magnificent full-color Mini Winnie posters. Most critical reviews were positive. Film critic Vincent Canby of the New York Times called the film not so much scary, but also not exciting as well. Roger Ebert of the Chicago Sun-Times called it a sci-fi thriller that's fun, that's cheerfully plausible, that's scary but not too scary, and it works. Tom Shales, the Pulitzer Prize-winning television critic for the Washington Post, noted that the film gives children plenty of what they want from a movie, and that includes conspicuously repeated instances of kids making adults look like monkeys. Escape to Witch Mountain would end up bringing in over $20 million at the box office, and according to a March 15th, 1978 article in Variety magazine, took in over $9 million in film rentals. The popularity of the film led to John Hough directing a sequel, Return from Witch Mountain, released March 10th, 1978. Robert Day directed the third installment, Beyond Witch Mountain, that was aired exclusively through television broadcast on February 20th, 1982. Then, in 1995, Disney produced a remake of the original Escape to Witch Mountain film. And finally, in 2009, a remake called Race to Witch Mountain was released to theaters. I feel that the actor-singer Jerome Cortland did an excellent job at keeping the film Disney-like, while also giving it room for experimental art. 13-year-old Jodie Foster had been the first choice for Tia Malone. I wonder how the film would have been different, as she was significantly older than 10-year-old Kim Richards. I enjoyed this film that was not Disney's traditional style, especially the various uses of camera angles to create intrigue. Thank you for listening. If you would like to watch Escape to Witch Mountain for yourself, it is available on iTunes, YouTube, Amazon Prime, Google Play, Disney Plus, and of course, DVD. If you enjoy this type of 50th anniversary content, please like and subscribe and hit that notification bell. The Disney Scrapbook will be producing other 50th anniversary content throughout the year that will include reviews of Disney films, LPs, books, and theme park content. Thanks everybody for watching. See you again soon. TTFN, ta-ta for now.